Today we're going to go up Great Mell Fell. Got some walking sticks this time. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. So this is Great Mell Fell, on the fringe of the Lake District again. Sort of eastern, near Ullswater, just up the top of north end of Ullswater. It's a mountain that sits by itself, 512 metres high, something like that. And we're going to go from sort of Matterdale end. This is the car park here. You just park your car there, and you can see, basically, if you look for these things, this is the start. I'll put a point on the. I'll give you a grid reference of where the car park is. So this path starts off like this, and then it kicks up quite sharp. And then because this mountain sits by itself, you get good 360 views. I say mountain. It is 512 metres high. I say 12. I'll correct myself. This starting point is nearly 210 metres already, so the climb, albeit steep, isn't that long. So, okay, after a short walk, you come to this gate here. Go on through the gate and then follow the footpath up. Okay, this just takes you up a bit, and then you traverse along the side here. You're in some old natural woods here. These woods have been here for a long time. Okay, this is where the path kicks up quite steep at the moment. I do believe it goes up and then round a bit further. Okay, when you come up to this section here, it's where your little stream is. You'll hear it running down here if it's been raining recently. If you come along this bottom here and work your way up the stream, I think this is probably the easiest way. This bit here, from here, looks fine, but on the other side of there, so we're coming this way, on the other side of there it's quite boggy coming up to this point. So I think the easiest way is just to come through this line here and then work your way up here and then onto this section, and then when you get here you can walk onto the dry point. Now it looks like there's a path through there that people have been taking, but this one here seems the better route. Now I'm taking it easy because I haven't got my boots on today. I foolishly thought it would be less boggy. Don't cut through that way because that gets you into this, and that looks like a whole host of problems. Let's just have a stab in the. Okay, so this is quite deep here. Don't come through this way, go that top way there. This here is just a absolute bog fest, and it looks like people have gone on that way, or whether this is an animal trail, I don't know, but certainly people have, you know, these are footprints here, and they've, well, you're going up at least, and that's way above your shin there. So yeah, learn by other people's mistakes and take this route up here. Now it is very midgified here. The bracken's really high in summertime, and obviously quite boggy as well. As you can see, there's a boggy path going up there, but there's another path there. I'll just check my sat nav because we're about to turn up. Said to come up here, so when you come up to this tree, don't be tempted to go that way. I would just venture on up here and see where this leads you to. Okay, yeah, so this seems to be the better route. Still got a bit of bog here, So I think I'm going to put the camera down and prod my way through here. Okay, so if you look for this fallen tree here, it looks like it's probably come off there from a lightning strike, and just sort of come up around that tree. It looks a bit of a nightmare if you're going on up that section there, but this one, albeit tight and still a bit mucky, it's a lot better than the choice of going up through that section there. Basically, follow this path all the way up to the top. Okay, so we're just coming to the top of the wooded section, and then this is quite a steep path. When you're further down there, just past that tree, it feels like you're not on the path at all, because there's so many choices that people have gone, but they all seem to come to this one path that comes up here, and you'll know when you get there because it sort of dries out. At the beginning it's a bit sort of boggy and unsure. If you get here and just turn around, well, at the moment you can't see much, but that is the Pennines over in the distance, and pretty much every part of that ridge is under the clouds. Okay, so this is just coming out of the tree line, and it starts to level off a little bit here, but we're only about halfway really on this climb. It's a bit of a false summit, because if you know the mountain, you know that on the top of it it's short grass, and it looks like the summit is just over there, but it's all covered in bracken, so we've still got a ways to go. Checking on the sat nav as well, and you can see we've still got high bits around us, and we know we're definitely above them trees ahead there. So although it does level off, you still got a bit to go. Okay, so bracken stopping, so that's an indication of you're getting near up to the top. Now if you turn around, at the moment you can see a lot of flat land here, again looking towards the Pennines, and you've got Little Mell Fell just to the right there. But when you're here now, you're pretty much done. It levels off a lot now, and although it's a steep climb coming up, it's quite a short section of it, and it's pretty much all just down there. Hopefully we'll get some views on top. At the moment the cloud level is quite low, and we can't really see much, but if you can get some views over that way when we get on the top, it's much more spectacular than the lowlands of Cumbria. And there we go. Oh, this is just looking into Matterdale, which not to be confused with Patterdale. This is the top end of Ullswater. If you're coming from the A66 and dropping down, you go through this bit here and it takes you through Matterdale. Okay, so we're coming up through the back of the fell, so we've got to go up and through these woods here and continue on climbing. Like I said, nothing's as steep as what you've just done, but you've still got a bit more to go. Okay, so we're just coming out of the last part of the woods in this little section that's on the top, and it's a bit of a reminder of what this place used to look like. Now if you look behind me now, there's no trees at all, and all the way down there this is like a little sporadic patch on the way up. Well, this fell used to be totally covered in trees, but it got felled in the 18th century, and these are the remaining few. I mean, they're all quite, relatively speaking in tree terms, quite young, and so this whole place would have been just, well, no trees at all. But thankfully these trees are holding on fast and they're still here. Some of them are actually, you know, with it being such an exposed fell, you know, this tree line here, I mean, it looks like a bomb's hit it. Speaking of bombs, there used to be a firing range for the one of the Great Wars, World War II I think it was, on the opposite side. And apparently you can still find shells, obviously spent shells. And Wainwright actually wrote in his book when he was climbing this fell, because it used to be closed off to the general public. And Wainwright actually mentioned about signs saying not to go up here. The whole fell was cordoned off. But I do believe it's just on the northern side. You can still see a stretch of woods where the shooting range was. Just got a deer looking at me. Probably can't see it. I'm in the way. It's just poking above the grass. We're going to go off this way though. Right, we're coming up to the top. She's there. It's quite an open top, so I believe the forecast is for spots of rain and the wind to stay low, so let's hope it's right. Okay. That's my sat nav beeping to tell me to take a path that I'm already on. Now you can tell you're getting near the top now because it's a bit more open. Crest of the hill is looking like it's just over there. I mean, checking the sat nav, I think we've got this and then traverse along a little bit, but most of the climbing's done now. Starting to level off now. Just picking our way through the last bits of these boggy areas. Hopefully it's nice and dry on top. I would imagine it will be. Got a little dip here. There was a little path that went off to the left, and it looks like it basically it's another option to the same place, but I would say it probably avoids this little boggy section I'm going through now. As you can see, again, quite boggy, and oh yeah, definitely boggy. So we'll get the sticks out, start prodding around. See, look at that, this is a good thing for bog. Nice little hard section there, so we can stand on that and then work our way through it. Hopefully get through with dry feet. Let's see if we can see this summit. Have a look around now. So even though the cloud's really low, it still looks a bit spectacular, doesn't it? Another good thing is this is the highest point for miles around, so you get a good 360 view up here. Now, I'm not promising a great view. There's the summit cairn. We'll go over there and see what we get. I believe it drops off quite steep on the opposite side here, so we should be able to get at least a look at something. It's nice to know even on this grassy hill someone's took the bother to bring a few stones up and build just a little cairn, and it looks like there was the makings of something else as well, but there we go. So even with low cloud, you still get to see something at least, and it's 360 all the way around. Another little reservoir over that side. So the shooting range I was on about is off down here. Now this is another path up, and this is one you can see from the road, but I've never desired to come up here because it does look really steep. So this patch of trees and this one next to it and that little field in between is the shooting range. And again, this used to be all trees as far as you can see. I mean, there's still a plantation over there and we've got a lot of trees over there, but these are all sort of modern forests. Again, as far as trees are concerned, they're very modern. Right, so this is the summit cairn. Again, I won't put a foot on that, might break it. One of the smallest summit cairns I've seen for a while. Say that, I think Lonscale was a bit smaller. But anyway, views of the lowlands, views of the highlands, and the Lake District. So with this being right on the edge of the Lake District, the barrier's just by the A66, I think, or just slightly north of it. And the wind's coming from the north, so we're getting quite a cold breeze. And you can just see Suter Fell. So we're almost the same sort of height as Suter, and the cloud is probably about 600 meters, something like that. I'm just looking at where the cloud's touching to see, you know, it's just above Suter. Okay, so it's a bit higher than Suter Fell. That is 600 and something meters. Is it 500? I can't remember now. But it's just kind of skirting across the top of it. And then, again, if it was clear, you'll be able to see a lot more, but because it's quite low on this side, you can still look out and see the estuary of Carlisle coming into the sea. And then you know that just north of that's Scotland, so you can just see a little bit of Scotland. So although it's clear at this level, the cloud is quite low. Okay, so that's been quite a short one of Little Mell Fell, Great Mell Fell even. Little Mell Fell's just behind us, just over there. And I think we're going to get off here because it looks like the rain's coming in. We'll see you in the next one.